Good morning everyone. Kapag ko Filipino, magbasa na tayo nating sariling history book, History of the Filipino People by Agoncillo and Guerrero. Today is 30 March 2023, History of the Filipino People, Part 6. Topic number 28, External Affairs. Nandito tayo sa paragraph, Association of Southeast Asia. Basa. Association of Southeast Asia. With the re-establishment of diplomatic relations with Malaysia, many ASEAN observers of Southeast ASEAN development and politics felt that the late Mapilindo, with its alleged racial overtones, should be replaced with a regional association that would include non-Malay peoples. Hence, the establishment of the Association of Southeast Asia, ASA, which was the brainchild of then-President Carlos P. Garcia and Malayan Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman. In January 1959, during Tunku Abdul Rahman's visit to Manila, he and President Garcia issued a joint communique which called for a study of the ways and means to elevate the standard of living and improve the material welfare of their peoples. It was proposed, however, that other Southeast Asian countries be invited to subscribe to this idea. On July 31, 1961, the Association of Southeast Asia was formally established in Bangkok by the representatives of the Philippines, Malaya, and Thailand. The aims, as expressed in the so-called Bangkok Declaration, were: number 1, to establish an effective machinery for friendly consultation, collaboration, and mutual assistance. And wait lang. Economic, social, cultural, scientific, and administrative fields. Number 2, to provide educational, professional, technical, and administrative training and research facilities in the respective countries for nationals and officials of the associated countries. Number 3, to exchange information on matters of common interest or concern in the economic, cultural, educational, and scientific fields. Number 4, to cooperate in the promotion of Southeast Asian studies. Number 5, to provide machinery for fruitful collaboration in the utilization of the respective natural resources, the development of their agriculture and industry, the expansion of their trade, the improvement of their transport and communication facilities, and generally raising the living standards of their peoples. Number 6, to cooperate in the study of problems in international commodity trade. And number 7, generally to consult and cooperate with one another so as to achieve the aims and purposes of the association, as well as to contribute more effectively to the work of existing international organizations and agencies. The diplomatic crisis that arose out of the estrangement of the Philippines and Malaysia made the ASA another paper agreement. During all the years from 1963 to the time the Philippines re-establishment diplomatic ties with Malaysia, the ASA was in a state of suspended animation. Ano nga ba ulit meaning ng ASA, guys? Association of Southeast Asia. Okay, the diplomatic crisis that arose out of the inulit ko, guys. The diplomatic crisis that arose out of the estrangement of the Philippines and Malaysia made the ASA na lang, ha? Ang hirap eh. Another paper agreement. Ano yan? Association of Southeast Asia. Another paper agreement. During all the years from 1963 to the time the Philippines re-established diplomatic ties with Malaysia, the ASA was in a state of suspended animation. The inception of the Marcos administration, however, revived the ASA. The meetings of the Philippine, Malaysian, and Thai delegates first in Bangkok in March 1966 and then in Kuala Lumpur from April 27 to 30 led to the agreement on the implementation of the pending and new projects such as number 1. Consideration of the liberalization of trade including a free trade area. Number 2. Action on the proposed Treaty of Trade and Navigation. Number 3. The studies of exchange of lecturers and scholars among higher educational institutions of the ASA member countries. And number 4. Consideration of an ASA shipping line. The ASEAN, the efforts of the Southeast Asian nations to rise up from the confines of their colonial past and to meet the challenge of the social, economic, and cultural conditions of the regions led to the founding of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. Which was formally established in Bangkok, Thailand on August 8, 1967 when the joint declaration was signed by the foreign ministers of 5 countries: Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. The joint declaration, known as the ASEAN Declaration, outlined the objectives and purposes as number 1. To hasten the economic, social, and cultural progress of the region. Number 2. To promote regional peace and stability through the rule of law. Number 3. To promote assistance and collaboration among the member states in the social, economic, cultural, technical, scientific, and administrative fields. Number 4. To assist one another in the form of training and research facilities in the educational, professional, technical, and administrative spheres. And number 5. To encourage the study of Southeast ASEAN history and culture. The ASEAN, probably learning from the experience of Seato, S-E-A-T-O. Ano kaya meaning nito? Which is now ended association emphatically made it clear that it is a non-political association for purposes of cooperation in matters cultural, social, economic, and administrative. The member states consult with one another. Although non-political, the ASEAN, however, had made political decisions such as the joint recognition of the new government of Cambodia. That is Cambodia. Yung Cambodia noong araw, guys, is Cambodia now. And the Democratic Republic of Vietnam cooperation in having a zone of peace, freedom, and neutrality in Southeast Asia, originally proposed by the late Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Abdul Razak. The conclusion of the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation at Bali on February 24, 1976, and the signing of the Declaration of ASEAN Concord also at Bali on the same time. The ASEAN projects, on the other hand, include activities in such fields as commerce and industry, mass media, tourism, agriculture, civil and transportation, and communication, and social and cultural activities. Relations with other countries. The Philippines has maintained and seeks to maintain friendly relations with other countries of the world. She has resumed her relations now on the level of equality with Spain, with whom she concluded a treaty of friendship on September 27, 1947, and a cultural treaty on March 4, 1949. As a result of this and other agreements with the former colonizer Philippine-Spanish relations have been cemented, resulting in the continuous pilgrimage of Filipino students and professionals to Spain. In an effort to recapture the faith and love of the Filipinos, the Spanish government has offered various scholarships to Filipino students to enable them to study at Spanish institutions of higher learning. More significantly, the Philippine Congress, as it to reciprocate passed a law in 1957 making the Spanish language compulsory in all high schools, colleges, and universities. There has been bitter criticism of the so-called Spanish law, not because the language is repugnant in itself, nor that there is an attempt to relive the unsavory features of the past, but that the 24 units of Spanish required for graduation in any college. Balikan ko lang. But that the 24 units of Spanish required for graduation in any college exceed the units required of some studies for the study of the national language. A situation that is not found in any self-respecting independent nation. Moreover, the Spanish law forces the students to sacrifice other more important subjects, particularly the sciences and the humanities, in order to enable them to take 24 units of Spanish. On the practical side, the 24 units of Spanish in colleges and universities have not made any appreciable contribution to the students' reading and speaking knowledge of Spanish. Students study Spanish simply to qualify for graduation and do not evince any desire to learn the language. The result is waste of money, time, and effort in enforcing a language that has, as a rule, no practical value for the average Filipino student. The Philippines has also concluded treaties of friendship with European, Oriental, and Latin American countries, with Italy on July 9, 1947, with Egypt on January 18, 1955, with Greece on August 28, 1950, with Switzerland on August 30, 1956, with Turkey on June 30, 1949, with Ecuador on January 18, 1948, with France on June 26, 1947, with nationalist China on April 18, 1947, and with the Dominican Republic on November 2, 1952. With Japan, against whom the Philippines fought during World War II, the latter concluded the peace treaty of San Francisco on September 8, 1951. Technically, the war with Japan did not end with her surrender at Tokyo Bay in 1945. It ended insofar as the Philippines was concerned when the Philippine Senate ratified the San Francisco Treaty on July 16, 1956. Since this latter treaty provided for separate negotiations with countries damaged by Japan's policy of expansion in the last war, she agreed to pay reparations to those countries, the Philippines included, and to conclude reparations agreement with them. The reparations agreement with Japan was concluded on May 9, 1956, by the terms of which Japan agreed to pay the Philippines the amount of $800 million. With the conclusion of this agreement, Philippine-Japanese relations were normalized, and the way was paved for the promotion of those relations on the basis of friendship, mutual respect, and common understanding. Filipino businessmen, students, and plain pleasure seekers began and continue to flock to Japan, first to work for the right to receive reparations, allocations, second to study Japanese culture, and last to taste the pleasures of the renowned Japanese hospitality, and not the least to brandish their ignorance of the elementary rules of decency. Bukas na itong topic 29, guys. Bye everyone. God bless.